Yucatan, Michoacan, Mexico. The Sombrero, A Flash in the Pan. By Dr. Daniel Chavarria, World Press Agency, National Graphic Press. Reporter and camera, Margarita Hernandez. Audiovisual production, Brandos Chavarria, Yucatan, Michoacan. Was once sprouted as a solid hope driven and founded by a leadership that sought social dialogue through public safety and civil protection, now seems to be dissolving into uncertainty. That momentum, led by Carlos Alberto Manzo Rodriguez, whose life was cut short by the treachery of those he trusted most, who orchestrated a criminal plot according to evidence from the State Attorney General's office, now faces its trial by fire. The Sombrero, the Hat movement was not a mere local trend. It represented an emerging political force that drew the attention of the national political elite, Latin American leaders, and the international press. It is imperative to emphasize that Manzo Rodriguez always dignified journalistic work. He understood, with democratic clarity, that we media professionals are not criminals, but the guarantors of social truth. As a doctor and journalist, I stand by this. The wall of ignominy, excluding the press following the emergence of communication pieces by Grisha Quiroz, the late leader's widow, a travel to Yucatan to inquire about high-relevance issues, the cable car project, public safety, and the political horizon leading to 2027. However, I ran into a wall of loyalists. Is loyalty perhaps a disguise for incompetence? The social communications staff, in an act of bureaucratic arrogance, blocked every channel of dialogue. They ignored my presence and failed to inform the president of my interest in an interview. Faced with this refusal, I opted for the most reliable method of the trade, taking the pulse of the citizens on the streets, the voice of the people, a movement in its death throes. The public's diagnosis is scathing. The Sombrero movement is dying. The general perception points to a lack of economic and political representation beyond Yucatan's borders. The structure, people say, lacks individuals of integrity. Its victory was not the result of a solid platform, but rather the excitement and good vibes emanating from Carlos Alberto Manzo. Today, many are trying to kick a man while he's down, residents warn. Grisha Quiroz seems unaware of the nature of the scorpions currently climbing up her coattails. Winning with 95,000 votes in a city of 400,000 was a historic milestone, but it was a triumph built on promises of equity and a direct confrontation against the abuses of authority that stifle this economic hub and avocado exporting powerhouse. Anonymous testimony. A family warning. In a chance encounter near a commercial area, I managed to interview a direct relative of Mrs. Quiroz. Under strict anonymity, they expressed a heartbreaking concern. "Could you tell me your name?" I asked. "No, Daniel Chavarria. I've followed you since your beginnings. I know you speak the truth and open the public's eyes. It causes me deep pain that my cousin's communications department has pushed you aside, especially being a respected figure who publishes in 4 languages." The relative was incisive. "We have advised her to leave this movement. She won't be the beneficiary. The true winners will be those who sell the Sombrero to traditional parties in exchange for Senate seats or congressional positions. They are playing her. They are mapping out her agenda just to exhaust her physically and strip away her independent decision-making power." Conclusion. Between reality and political fiction, the family's warning is clear. In politics, there are no eternal loyalties, and the president's physical integrity and the future of our children are at stake. Is Grisha Quiroz living in a bubble, deceived by the sycophants who are now displacing even her own flesh and blood? If the current administration persists in closing its doors to the national and international press, it is not only committing an affront to a constitutional right, but also sentencing its legacy to ostracism. The disdain shown by a female official at the House of Culture toward this outlet and toward others of international stature like the New York Times is undeniable proof of a management that ignores the criticism of political actors who were already celebrating its isolation. Chavarria, and what was that official like? A heavy-set woman, over 100 kilograms. Wearing glasses, short hair, fair-skinned. When I made my request, she retorted that even the New York Times had to follow that protocol in her list, effectively belittling my informative and journalistic work. We move forward, for an informed Mexico. World Press Agency, National Graphic Press, the voice of the world, Veracruz State. We publish in 4 languages. Visit our web portal and social media.